1, 2, 1, 2. This is the Alpha FX.
Drinking any bad bitches jumping in the
Trading is all about experience. It's to feel the adrenaline running through our veins. Like all the things we do that excite us. Whatever world we come from or live in, there are people that are born to succeed. They're called special, to hustle every day for an opportunity of a lifetime. Looking for the challenge to shape our future is something that's in our DNA. A privilege just available for a few. Traders, we see things differently, paying attention to every small detail that would maybe go unnoticed by the common eye. On or by the edge is our playground, with a constant strive for glory, seeking for a new tomorrow. Do you feel special? Take back control of your investments.
One, two, 1, 2. Welcome back.
Hello.
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 Hello, Thomas. How are you?
Very good. How you doing, guys?
Hello, Thomas. Hello, Thomas. Alles good?
Yeah, I managed to come back for a quick session, but I can't stay for all the news. So I'm gonna stay for ADP, because this is going to be important in 5 minutes. I'm gonna stay for continuing jobless claims, but for the PMIs and services PMI, you're gonna have to trade it alone, and the JOLTS job openings as well. But the first half is very similar to the second one, because we have job, labor market data, jobs data, and also jobs data. But the second one is going to be the PMI and jobs data. So it's a bit more mixed, but I'm going to show you how to trade it. Basically, all you have to do is read the narrative on the chart. So with the members, we already analyzed it this morning and jotted down the possible scenarios. So the first data is going to be ADP non-farm employment, which is only one, so that's a good one. Now, if the data, by the way, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes, we can see you.
So
Luckily,
we
yes.
have 4 minutes until the ADP. That's the first set of data. Luckily, it's only one single job data. And if the data is lower than expected, that means that the economy, is creating more jobs, and also the job market is able to suck up all the excess unemployed people, which further increases wage inflation. Long story short, if ADP is lower than expected, gold is going to 1934, even a little bit higher. If ADP is higher than expected, then we're going to have a nice sell-off back to the daily, weekly pivot, 1915. So it's a good 120 pips. Whew. You ready?
Yes, we are ready.
I thought you guys sleeping.
Nah.
I'm relaxing.
I was actually writing a comment on YouTube.
Very nice.
I already did too.
So I don't have any open positions on gold, but I'm tempted to enter into a sell because I'm looking for sells mostly. But depending on the data, I think the data is going to be way higher than what's forecasted. So I'm going to enter into a small sell, only 2 lots. This is just to test the water, and because I'm expecting sells. So what I'm risking is a bit wider stop loss and £700. So it's less than 0.2%. GBP AUD, I'm long because GBP expected to strengthen against the Aussie dollar. That's going very well, and that's it. And US 30 as well. But I'm gonna close down US 30 because I'm not too sure what's going to happen. So I have gold and GBP AUD. Data is coming up in 2 minutes, guys. You ready?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Andrew, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, much better now that I hear your soothing voice.
Sorry, I've just been doing my dissertation for my master's degree. Just so long.
What's the topic?
Is gold still a safe haven?
Ooh, can you send it over to me?
Yeah, I will do. I'm comparing gold to Bitcoin, equities, fixed income. Yeah.
Very nice.
And I'm gonna do a comparison as well to real estate, I think.
Is it quantitative? Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, yes it is. Yeah.
Do you use like Johansson co-integration or regression analysis?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use regression. There's another one. So I just started recently, and my superior, he hasn't told me exactly, but I'm 100% gonna have to use regression.
Yeah, but I would suggest the Johansson co-integration if you want to ace it.
Yeah, configuration as well. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. There's this platform called eViews. It just makes everything a bit easier.
50 seconds to impact.
Impact.
Right, we have 30 seconds to go.
Let's get ready to rumble.
$15. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ADP non-farm employment is way higher than expected. Sell. Immediately sell. It's a big sell. As I expected, labor market is still too strong. That creates further inflationary pressure. It's a nice sell, already running in 57 pips, 60 pips.
Let's go, guys. You see?
Ooh.
Triple your money because of
Triple your
Tama.
money Thursday.
Guys, triple your money, have a good day, and just tell them, tell your special lady put the red lingerie on. Yeah, ciao.
Sir. Sir,
Rajat, how you doing?
can I ask you something?
Anything you want, but I have to tell you I'm married. Not like girls.
Your narrative was very good today. I want to ask you that at the time of data release, we already know if the data comes out more inflationary, then gold will go down, right?
Yes.
At 5, as per Indian time 5:45, the data was released. As soon as the data was released, we saw that it is coming inflationary. Hence, gold will go down. But at the same time, at the time of data release, 1 second after, the gold went down, right? So how to trade?
How to trade it? Well, multiple options, multiple scenarios.
Because the gap of time there is no gap, right? As soon as the data is released, we go down.
Yeah, it's if you want to trade data, you either can go with the market and the forecast. So today the forecast was actually lower than what was that? Yeah, you see it's 228 versus 267. That was the forecast, but notoriously analysts are always incorrectly price and forecast labor market data. And I had an expectation that it's going to be much higher than the actual forecast, which is more than double. So I made the sell before the news based on my macroeconomic analysis. Labor market, I looked at the economic projections, I looked at the Fed notes. So basically it wasn't guessing, it was a lot of analysis and thought and data mining went into the decision that I thought is going to be higher than expected, and this is why I traded before the news. I placed the sell right before the news. But if you're not sure that what the number is going to be, then you have two options. The first one is you wait for the data to come out and then trade it, but you won't be able to catch these big moves fully. The second one, well, it's not gambling, but you have to make an analysis, a scenario analysis like this one, and you have to take a side. It may or may not going to work, but do not gamble. Always have your analysis and position backed up with data, macroeconomic analysis, and just know what you're doing. This is how I trade.
So because so as you already said before the data is released that it is going to be higher as per your expectations. So that was because of the knowledge you have or some factors you saw.
I texted Jay Powell and asked him.
Could you please explain Euro AUD chart?
So as I told you, Raja, that I had a feeling that the labor market data is going to be much higher than expected because the labor market is still too strong. So is the knowledge that went into this speculative position.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
You made some nice profit.
Yeah, Ramesh, I made 100 pips.
Nice.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
And I had a doubt.
Listen, there's only one guy.
As the data is very much higher than expected, we can see a very big sell-off today.
Thomas, if we oh sorry, keep going.
No, if
Yeah,
the
that
data
is. Yeah.
Finish him.
If the data is much, the upcoming data is going to be inflationary, the continuing jobless claims and the initial jobless claims, then the sell-off is going to continue. But if it comes out deflationary, then this candle is going to be invalidated. So I highly recommend to take some partials or close the position and then trade the next data based. Again, do the same thing as what I did just 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Okay. I think
So
it's
Thomas,
enough.
if balance of trade comes out negative in initial jobless claims and continuing, do you think that we will break below? Sorry, let me pull up my chart. Do you think we break below 1894?
So what was the data you mentioned?
The just the upcoming high impact data. So balance of trade, initial jobless. Basically, I mean, jobless claims and initial jobless claims, because that's what the market seems to be very focused on, is the labor market data, because that's kind of how Al has been speaking.
Yeah, but forget the balance of trade, because it's always negative. I wouldn't focus on that. The US is in a deficit, so they're always importing more than exporting. I would focus on the labor market data. Well, look at the chart, guys. We just made 150 pips with the labor market, so definitely labor market is in prime focus.
And please, guys, secure profit.
Andrew, you wanted to say something?
Please, guys, secure some profits.
Yeah.
You have to be very grateful.
I'm very thankful that I made 2 months of salary in just single trade.
You haven't what?
2 months of salary in single
nice.
trade.
You're gonna be on holiday.
Bro. Yeah, today end up being good.
Very nice.
Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks.
So, next data coming up in 7 minutes. I'm going to lock in some profit. It's running in 160 pips profit.
Thomas number 1.
Hey, brother. Did you guys make some good profit?
Yes.
I was in the cells from 23, and I was in a bit of drawdown, but yeah, it paid off extremely well.
Yeah, we had 2 positions marked on the chart. The first one was gained 38 pips and then immediately wiped out the position. But the drawdown and the stop loss hits are part of the game. There is you cannot expect to go in a fight and not get punched in the face. But the second entry, based on the data and my macro speculation, paid off dearly.
Yeah, it did.
How low do you think you will go for gold?
How long is a piece of string? I told you guys many times that it depends on the data. If the data comes out deflationary, then all of this is going to be invalidated and gold comes back to 1930.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if the data continues to come out strong, which is, I mean, they've been saying the market or the labor market's really strong, then that would probably, in theory, like reinforce their decision to continue with the rate hikes, because they're very adamant about getting it back down to 2% and keeping it at 2%. Is that correct, Thomas?
Yeah, it is going to fuel the fear of high rates, which is going to stay with us for years. For another year, I think there's going to be high inflation. You see, guys, haven't traded much this week, and you only need one single trade or 2 per week, and you can. It's magical how much money you can make. It's not every single week, but that's why I say wait for the data.
It's very true, Thomas. Something that I've learned from being in this group. It's not about trading every day and chasing a trade. Sometimes you just need to wait for that literally one day, and you can make, you catch 100 pips, and you can be done for the week.
Exactly. One single trade. I mean, look at the chart or my MetaTrader. I closed down half of the position because I booked profit. Anything above 1,000, I book it. And there's one single lot left from the sell of gold, and one single lot now gained £1,300. Now, £1,300 for 5 minutes work. Obviously, there's much more work behind it with the reading and studying, but 1 minute work gained £1,300-400. Wait for the opportunities and the best. I trade the data exactly because of this.
And this £1,300 is someone's monthly salary.
It's big money in UK or US, but in
any
other
part
countries,
of the world. Yeah,
anywhere.
It's more than 1 month's salary.
Yeah.
Oh, 181 pips. That's very nice.
Oh, this is
No.
gorgeous.
Not for me. Those are just my coke money.
Speaking of which, message me after the stream.
Habibi.
I meant Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought.
I needed a Coke Zero, you know.
Coke? Who needs a Coke?
Coke Zero. I'm on a diet. Have you got some for me?
Do you want some Coke? So, in the meantime, if anyone, people on YouTube who are watching the stream, there's 400 people watching, there's only 100 likes, so please hit the like button. And if you want to join the community, and if you want to get the same analysis every single day with morning briefings, you know, 2 live sessions a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, here's a link on YouTube chat. Join now. I'm taking in a few more people, and then I'm going to close it for the rest of July. And the position pulled back a little bit. Remember, book profits, because data is coming up in 1 minute or 3 minutes, something like that.
Amas, how's your kitchen?
It's coming along, but they had to take off the kitchen island top because there were some stains on it, so they're going to change it.
Beautiful.
What time is the morning briefing at Zoom? It's 8:30 Central European time.
7:30 UK time. Only Thomas's Zooms can stop me from packing just to be on here.
Some people gets up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in other part of the world just for the morning briefing.
Yeah.
Secure some profits, guys, because the other data is coming up in 1 minute 30 seconds.
Any holidays this summer, Thomas?
I'm planning to take August off.
The whole month?
I know, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, but in August trading is the worst. It's going to be painful.
Yeah. You'll be stuck in one position for at least 10 hours.
If not days.
Yeah. Honestly, I think August is just the biggest headache. Like, first you get the liquidity hunts left, right, and center, and then for you to even get into profits, it takes hours upon hours.
Yeah.
I remember last year, August, I promise you, the worst thing ever.
And then September came, and I told you, wait for September. It's going to be amazing.
Wow, September was a great month. I think that NFP, I think we caught like 300 and something plus pips in a day.
Yep. Data is coming up in 30 seconds, guys. Time to book some partials. There was a good sell. Overall, this was almost 200 pips. Remember that the next data is jobless claims. If the data is coming out lower than expected, sell gold. If it's higher, then buy gold. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Focus on the continued jobless claims.
Higher.
Fucking investing.com. Is it higher?
Higher than the
The
forecast.
continuing, it's going to sell off. I wouldn't jump into a buy. Avoid any buys. It's going to continue to sell off. If you haven't entered, then I wouldn't enter now. But if you entered in the first position, just let it run.
Sir, but the data is higher than the forecasted.
Let's have a quick look. So the initial jobless claims is a little bit higher, so it's insignificant. It's a little bit higher, but as I told you, Rajat and everyone else, in the morning briefing, focus on the continuing jobless claims. This has 3 stars, but this is stupid because continuing jobless claims has more meanings because it tells you how many people stuck in unemployment for longer term. Initial jobless claims, yeah, people come and go in unemployment, but the question is, are they staying in unemployment for lower? If the number is lower, that means that the labor market can suck up all the unemployed people and provide them jobs. Do you understand, Rajat?
Yes, sir.
And that came out lower than expected, lower than the previous one, so it's highly inflationary, and that's why gold is continuing to sell off.
Okay. Understood, sir.
And that is 200 pips, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen, one trade. You guys made some good money today?
Yep.
Very good.
Right. Double my
100%.
account.
Where is the
Thank you so much.
enthusiasm, guys? Like, yeah, we made some money. Yeah, it's okay. All right.
Now I'm going on holiday. I'm buying my ticket. Thank you,
Nice.
Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Thomas.
Lamborghini.
Thank you.
Jobsy on YouTube says 6,000 banked. Wow, that's a nice profit. Jobsy, if you're listening to this, then well done, congratulations. 6,000 is a lot of money. Take it out, some of it in cash. Take your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or all of them to a nice dinner. And if you have any money left, then consider joining our wonderful team, the Alpha community.
Very much.
Hi, Thomas. This
Very
is
much
George.
thank.
Who said Köszönöm?
Hi, Thomas.
Köszönöm, Thomas. Köszönöm.
Stoyan,
Uh,
you're welcome.
Thomas, are you hearing me?
I
Hi.
can hear you, George.
You can or you cannot hear me? Which one?
I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Thomas, I haven't, I kind of understand almost everything you say over here, but sometimes I have problem about the entry. When do I actually execute my trade? That's the problem I have. Should it be like setting a buy order or a sell order, or do I just kind of execute based on the data release?
Mm-hmm. I don't usually use sell and buy orders. I used to, but since COVID, I don't really use it. I do set alerts on TradingView, so when the price reaches my target level, then I look at the chart. So I do the analysis in the morning, and you can set alerts in TradingView on the right hand side on the scale. And what I do is I set alerts, and the price reaches it, I get a notification, and I look at the price action, and I look at what data is coming up, etc. And based on that, I make a call, because you may make an analysis in the morning, but it could change by the afternoon. So that's how I enter into trades. But again, different scenarios. I trade mostly economic data because I'm an economist. And depending on the data, I enter. Sometimes early, like today, because I had a speculation that the labor market is still strong, and it paid off well.
Okay, that's clear.
Thomas, hi.
Thomas, I have a question.
Go on.
I just noticed in the investing.com, the actual results gives two colors, the green and red. For example, the continuing jobless claim is color green, and then the initial jobless claim is color red. Does the color green mean it is good for the USD currency, or is it always like that? Because sometimes when in the ADP it is higher, but it is color green also. But does it mean that if it's color green, it is good for the currency, and then red is bad for the currency?
So, first of all, I would completely ignore the colors, because sometimes a lower number means it's actually bad for the economy and bad for the currency. But a lower number could mean that, you know, it's better than the previous one because it's going down, for example, inflation. But investing.com, if it's lower, it marks as red, but actually if inflation goes down, it should be green because it's better for everything. So ignore the colors, focus on you know, the meaning. What does it mean if it's higher or lower? Draw it down on a chart, as I do every single day for you guys. And whether it's good or bad for the currency, it depends on many things. So speaking as of now, at the current economic situation, the current inflation, the current interest rate environment, a higher ADP non-farm employment, higher jobs number, and that is bullish for the dollar because of the expectation of higher interest rates. The continuing jobless claims and initial jobless claims, it's one of them is green or the other one is red. Forget the colors. Know what the number means and write it down on the chart. And many people focusing on initial jobless claims because it has 3 stars, but come on guys, it's not kindergarten. It's, you know, as an economist, I value the continuing jobless claims way more because it tells me that how many people stayed in unemployment for longer term. Initial jobless claims only show you that how many people entering into unemployment. The difference is insignificant, the 3,000, whereas the continuing jobless claims, it dropped below the forecast and below the previous by, you know, 13,000, and that means that people more people staying for less time in longer term unemployment. And that tells me that the labor market is still too strong and able to suck up all the excess supply of labor who become jobless, you know, unemployed. So the labor market is still too strong and it fuels further inflation.
Okay, thank you, Thomas.
Did you understood?
Thank you. Yes, yes. Okay.
Are you sure?
Thank you.
You can ask question.
Okay.
Yes, I had it out.
And also, 1 second, sorry. The ADP non-farm employment, Chikox just reminded me, and he's right. It's a good indicator for NFP, which is coming up on tomorrow. So usually, you know, economists and analysts notoriously miscalculate NFP and ADP. But if you look at the ADP number, it's actually double than the forecast. So even if it's, you know, they got it wrong and it's 100,000 less, it's still way higher than the forecast. And look at the NFP tomorrow. The forecast is 340, previous forecasting 225. So it's very close with the ADP non-farm estimation, which is right here. So 228. And it's going to be much higher tomorrow, the NFP. So when the data comes out before NFP tomorrow, you can place a sell trade. And 95% that it's going to be way higher than expected.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Thomas. Need to jump out now. Thank you.
How was the day?
Thank you so much, Thomas.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Thomas. I'm going for a trip for 3 days.
Have a good trip, buddy.
And I had a doubt. As they increasing the rate hikes for past 1 year, and they're going to stop the rate hikes in some time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be a negative rate cuts, as you mentioned in morning?
Rate cuts, it's only depending on the data, but not this year. There will be no pivot to rate cuts.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Wow, 210 pips. It's a nice trade, isn't it?
I missed you, Thomas. I didn't know you were doing this. So I traded all by myself. Correct.
Oh, did it work?
Correct.
Nice.
Yes.
What was the analysis?
That it was inflationary.
Well done.
So actually, before the news, I was buying gold, and then obviously I went out of it and sold. And I'm still selling. I've taken profits. Sorry.
It was a good call because I lost money in the morning. I didn't put it into break even. I left the runner. I took half of the profit, but then it wiped out.
Yeah. There it is. Good. Make the money. Take the money.
Dorothy, when did you join?
I think I joined April.
How do you like
July
it so
now.
far? It's 6 months now, half a year.
I love
so
it.
You have
I love
you have
it.
some view, but how do you like being with with me?
I love it. I feel confident to trade by myself completely now as well. Like the news. I even feel confident to trade the news because before I was I'm not going to do anything, or if I'm in a trade which I believe, okay, it's a bias if I leave my trade in during the news, but now I feel confident enough to just trade the news. And not even just, I know we do a lot of gold and that, but even other news as well, like European stuff as well, so GBP stuff.
Did you trade fundamentals and economic data before you joined?
Economics was sort of part of my history, but I never used to use it properly to trade, So I mean, I'm a educational. I had actually, between you, who else is listening? I used to have a job in trading, but nothing like this, So, but that's got nothing to do with it. I never used to use that knowledge, as such. It was different kind of knowledge at the time for me.
And it's also what you study at. What I studied at university. Many of the stuff wasn't relevant or incorrect because markets work in different ways. So yes, it's useful, but real trading is completely different.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you enjoying the past 6 months.
Not 6 months. I haven't been here 6 months. I've been with you since April.
There's still a few months.
Well, April, May, June, 2 months. Thomas.
So call it 4 months. Good to have you.
All right, if you like, okay. Yeah, so I just need to start seeing some good results now and stuff, because I also used to trade pretty, you could call it like sort of gambling in a way. But yeah, I use my head a bit more now. So.
Did it help?
Dorothy number one.
The morning briefings to talk.
They help. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I don't come up straight away with. To voice an answer to you, but in my mind I know it. So sometimes you might think maybe I'm confused. Like in my mind, I'm actually trying to make sure I get the correct answer first. That's what's important to me, and then I'll open my mouth. Sorry, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I just want to get it right, and I think the morning meetings are really good because it means it's like it's on a wheel and you just start doing the same things over and over. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the best thing, actually, I would say too.
Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you so much.
Nice one.
Thomas, prior to joining your channel, I used to do technicals, and for some time, I was in a win, and after certain time, I just started losing, and I started to wonder why was the reason. So I decided to take a break. And then just during that time, I got to watch your channel on YouTube, and I decided to join the community. And I'm so grateful and so thankful to have someone who is as knowledgeable as you are, who is willing to impact knowledge onto us. And now I understand the reason for which the market moves from the time I joined you. So I must say that I really appreciate you. But for now, I'm not taking trades. I'm only learning because I think the it's better that I understand the concept.
Yeah.
Before money, I should put learning before making money. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not just in it to make the money, but at least to understand the concept, so that tomorrow, just in case you are not around, I could be able to stand on my own and be able to trade on my own.
Exactly.
So again, I must say that I really appreciate you. You have really impacted my knowledge on trading.
Thank you for the kind words. It's actually, many people start trading with technicals because it's easy to understand how to draw a line, and it's visual. People like visual things because they think it's easier. And I love when all the Instagram traders, the forex gurus say that, you can see everything in the charts, bro. You can see everything in the charts. It's all there. You don't need anything else. That's bullshit. Yes, you can see things from price action that market is moving sideways, but they cannot explain why is it moving sideways or things like that. But how can you see the data, the economic data which drives the market? How can you see it from lines and candles? You cannot see it. It's bullshit. Like, could you see price was going up, gold was going up, it was bullish before the data was printed, and the data came out very inflationary, and it's impossible you can see it on the chart. That's when the economics and knowledge comes in, and I hope that the morning briefing help as many people. I try to make it as simple as possible. It's not holy grail, but I think there's more success if you know what drives the market, because it's called financial market for a reason. And there is a question from Netty Gaines that, Thomas, you say trade after the data out, but when data is out, move is instant. So when we trade, so I explained to Rajat, you have multiple options. Today I traded the data before the data come out because I had an expectation that it's going to be way higher because the labor market is way too strong and analysts notoriously misforecast ADP non-farm employment. So I took a chance, only entered with a small lot, and it paid out well. But that there's months and years of observing the market and learning the economic trends, reading the Fed reports was behind the decision. And it's impossible to catch these big moves when you trade at the release of the data. So you have to front run the market a little bit. But other data, yes, you can wait for the data, and depending whether it's inflationary or deflationary, you can just make a call. And the next data is going to be PMI services. That's the most important. And Jaws job openings. Now look on gold. 216 pips.
Habibi.
Ooh, US 30 is selling off.
Thomas, that's all the companies are using credits from the banks to run their operations.
Who sold it? Stoyan.
Yes, Thomas.
What was that? Sorry.
My question was: are all the companies are using credits from the banks to run their operations?
No. European style.
Then this interest rates doesn't concern them.
No, it's not the loan, it's debt, but debt comes in different forms. The European culture is you go to the bank and you borrow money from the bank, so that's a bank loan. But if you go to the US, there are multiple ways to get some money, credit, capital. One of them is going, to the stock market, but it's only for well-established companies with minimum 5 years of financial records. They wet it, they get a lead bank to do the initial public offering. It's quite complicated. Also, companies have the option to gain capital, to raise money by issuing bonds. Bonds is another form of IOU. So basically, you lend money. Investors can buy your bonds, and you promise to the investors to pay dividends, depending on European, Asian, or US bonds. But let's say half-year coupon payments. So that's the interest payment. And you promise to the lenders that you're going to pay the coupon payments and the initial capital at the end of the maturity. So that's another way of borrowing money. And all of them, the bonds and the bank loans are actually thus affected by interest rate, because bank loan is obviously, if it's a floating rate or a changing rate, then it's going to fluctuate with the high interest rate. So you're going to pay more money. But the bonds, as well, because in order to keep the lenders who buy the bonds, you have to match the current interest rate, otherwise they're going to sell off the bonds, and you have to service that debt every single time. So yeah, these are the forms of capital raising activities, and these are affected by the interest rate increase.
Okay, my understanding was that what Fed is doing with this increasing the interest rate, so the companies doesn't have access to cheap credits, so like to cool down to contract the economy.
Exactly, because if you're a company and if you want to invest in capital expenditure or machinery, and you need money, then you go to the bank and current interest rate suddenly jumps 500 basis points, you would be crazy. So you're going to postpone the investment, you're going to postpone the purchase, the bank loan and everything, and that contracts the credit. So it tightens the credit because less money will be available due to decreased demand.
I understood.
What's up, guys? Everyone sleeping?
Everybody's
we are here, Thomas.
We're here. Thomas, good call on gold, mate. Really good.
Thank you.
Got a question. How do we know when to close? How do we know when to close the sell?
When it starts
When
going
you're
up.
happy with the bottom.
Yeah, ask your bank account. I always say that. But
don't close it, just put it on break even.
No, book some profits. I mean, guys, 230 pips. 230 pips. Come on, if it's decent money, I would book it, buy close half of it. When to book it? Well, depending on how much profit you made and many different factors. But I wouldn't leave it for too long because it can always retrace and come back. And James, also, we have another set of data coming up in an hour, I think. So there's no guarantee that data won't be deflationary and reverses the whole sell-off. PMI is very strong, JOLTS job openings also. So I would book profit before that data, or most of the profit.
Okay, thank you, Thomas.
Peace Love is asking when it buy, dude. Well, I wouldn't buy it now. It's so interesting and funny that when price is going up, when going down, people buying, and when it's going up, they're selling. Why?
I think they're just keen to trade, I guess.
Yeah, but most of the people don't understand the financial data and economics, and they think that because there is a stupid support level that's going to help them. No, that's false. It all comes down to the data.
that's so true. I was in the same phase, so I could say like that's what's happening. I mean, I joined this like I think it's not a month, maybe a 2 week, I guess. Yeah. So for me, it's eye opening.
Welcome to the team.
Well, one.
Nutty Gains, if you had to start trading all over again, how would you do it? Well, I would do exactly the same thing. I went to university and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but eventually figured out I want to do trading, so I joined the trading society. We competed in competitions, I won prizes, I was funded by the university. I had interest, so I went to the internship at Morgan Stanley, equity research, and then I took, I placed around my interest in trading, so I did things which involved trading. I went to, banks for internships, to all kind of things, and that's what I studied. That's why I did my dissertation on, so as Andrew does now. And I had interest. I went to Canary Wharf in London, took a job as a waiter while I was at uni to be close to, to banks and businessmen. And I went to the gym there and I spoke to many people who were in the same, finance and banking, and they helped me, with job applications and all that.
That's inspiring, I would say. For me, it's been like 8 months. I would say like seriously, I started focusing. So I started taking like some free challenges where I ended like passing one of them, then ended up losing again. Then I did some live account trade, cover up like overall scenario. I'm still not able to be profitable, but yeah, day by day, I'm trying to learn, taking my notes and improving myself to make it better understanding.
That's a good attitude, and it doesn't happen overnight, so you're going to fail thousands of times, if not tens of thousands of times. You're going to fail for months, for years, but those fails are actually, it's the learning curve, it's experience, and initially there will be a day or week or month you're going to it's all come together, and you start to understand it, and it becomes success, but it takes years.
Yep. Yeah, so it reminds me a quote, like it says like something which build up fast is kind of a scam, which good things it takes time to build up. So yeah, I mean, I would say you won't be profitable within a night, but definitely it take a process to build up to achieve that goal.
Yeah, when you take a trade, you study for years, then you go out, you be an apprentice or intern, you study more, and it takes you 5 to 10 years to be a professional at your trade. Trading is the same. The only difference is that you cannot be an electrician or a builder overnight, or a chef, but you can almost immediately deposit all of your life savings to a brokerage account in 2 minutes.
Yeah. So before you, I was actually following another mentorship. So I won't take name. I would say like some people are just there to just based on a psychological level that okay, it's here, so it's gonna bounce back. We're gonna just stack it up at full margin. And you ended up losing, then they again like, okay, we're gonna do double margin this time. I'm like, dude, guys, like, what's the basis of this taking the trade? Can you explain? And there's no explanation of that.
Of course, because people cannot explain something that they don't understand. So if you are in a group or signal provider or some, forex guru, ask them how does the PMI is going to affect the market? How is it affecting the dollar, gold, currencies? If the EDP is higher than expected, how does it affect the market? I guarantee that 80% won't be able to answer. And the market data and economic data drives the market, and there's a reason why these are called financial markets.
Right.
So I would take profit now. Guys, I'm going to take some more money off the table because we have a new 4-hour candle. So I'm going to take off quite a big chunk. We could have a retest. So I booked the profit. We might going to have a retest to the daily pivot, and then the sell may or may not continue depending on the PMI data.
Are we going to stay live until the PMI?
No, you have to trade it alone.
Oh.
But you know, why do you need me? You have all the information and knowledge.
It's more probably, it's more psychological than only information.
Yeah, I would say like trading with you becomes like more psychological, and I would say like confidence comes to be more confident in your trade.
Yeah, but that's why I push
can give
you to
you
the
an
edge.
example.
That's why I push you every day to the edge, so you be more confident and you can trade alone. That's why I ask you questions. That's why I put you in inconvenient situations. I ask you, what does it mean, etc. Because that's how we learn.
I'll try to give you an example that my son gave me this Saturday. He loved to ride the bicycle more when me or my wife with him than alone. But we teach him and know how to drive, and he's only 7 years old. But it's more enjoyable for him, and he feels more comfortable when he knows we are next to him or we are watching. It's the same for me with you.
Oh, that's cute.
You're
Well, I'm always
our
here to
sugar
help.
daddy.
Oh.
Habibi.
So now we have the retest coming up. Let's go down to the 30-minute chart. You know, technical. I'm not saying that technicals are useless, because that's how I look for entry position or entry levels, because it is useful. But trading purely technical is going to do you no good for your account and your mental health.
Do you reckon it's gonna use the Fibonacci levels now when it's retracing? Is it gonna respect?
But also it could wipe out all the sellers if the PMI data comes out deflationary. Look at the forecast for PMI. What does it say?
51.3.
There is no change.
54.1 is the forecast.
Someone microphone is open and it's not.
My personal speculation would be that PMI will be higher than expected with that data that just came out from ADP non-farm employment, that they hired so many people. That means those managers that are being that they're being served in that survey for the PMI, I guess they gave a higher number.
But what if the PMI is going to be much lower than expected? Because just because people or the job market is strong, it doesn't mean that the companies are doing too well, because there's high inflation, lower sales, and they're struggling to find labor. And you have to go back to 2018. Listen, Stoyan, you have to go back to 2018, 2016. Trump actually changed. Let me just mute, bro. Trump just curbed the immigration law. So also COVID came, and there's so many jobs left empty because people went home back to their original country. So there's a labor market shortage, and that is the ultimate reason why labor market is strong, but it doesn't mean necessarily that PMI is going to be also strong, in my opinion.
By all means, that's why I said it's my personal speculation, so nobody to listen to me or anything. I just wanted to express my opinion.
Which is excellent, and I just thank you that you're one of the few people who actually brave enough to talk and express their opinions. But don't take it personally if I say or think otherwise, because this is how we learn together and have a professional discussion.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I mean, I know that you're like 10 times more knowledgeable than me. That's why I'm here to learn. I'm perfectly fine.
Habibi.
I love you, Stoyan.
Yeah, I even wrote in the chat that before I was in OnlyFans, but I was not doing very well, so I came here and I started making some money.
I will sign up to your OnlyFans.
Just kidding. I closed it down.
So guys, I'm gonna end soon because we made 200 pips. You guys made money today, or what?
I did. So
yes,
I did.
And now, usually this is when the problem comes. If there is more data, and I finish the stream, and everyone is like, "Oh yeah, it's a good money, good sell," but then the data comes out, and it turns out it's deflationary and wipes out all of the invalidates the position, wipes out this big bearish candle, and people just surprise and wonder like, why did this happen? Because they don't pay attention to the data.
I agree.
So, do you guys have this written down on your chart?
I have done it. Personally, I have done it.
Good. It's easy.
Thomas, I wanted to ask one thing. You use this pivot line and all. How to get that on TradingView? Is it accessible?
Yeah, you have to. So, did you watch the videos on the website?
I do.
No, you haven't.
Okay, no, I haven't gone.
Naughty. If you watch the videos, the first video explains how to add the pivot. So, sorry, buddy, but you've been caught. It's very easy.
I'll get it.
You go to.
Sure.
You go to TradingView, and where is it? Indicators, and you type in pivot standard. This one right here. Naughty.
Hello, Tomas.
Tomas, I never asked, but I have it on my TradingView. What are the pivots, man? How it's decided the pivot point?
It's actually been around for decades. Pivot's been calculated on the fixed income, the bond market, but they figured out that it's actually quite useful for equities, commodities, and all that. And the calculation is it's quite simple. So it's an arithmetic average of the high, low, and closing prices of the market in the prior trading period. So it's a previous day or previous trading session, and that's how you calculate the pivots. And luckily to TradingView, you can visualize it quite simply. Before, people and traders, they used to do it by hand, calculated.
Thomas, how are you doing?
Hey, Aaron, how you doing, brother?
It's been a minute.
What is the custom stop loss indicator? Please ask you multiple times, but no response. Custom stop loss indicator? There is no custom stop loss indicator. I have two indicators on TradingView. Sorry, MetaTrader. The first one is the position, the pip calculator, and the other one is the timer, which calculates how much time left for the next candle. Elite man, some explanation for my question for understand. If you watch April 4, then Jolts was lower, but it's going up. What about that? Well, you're comparing last year to this year, but last year was fundamentally different. 2 years ago it was completely different. 3 years ago it was again very different. We had COVID. Immigration laws have been changed. So many things were different. There was, you know, inflation was lower last year. So I don't think that we can really use seasonality. But you can try. It does work sometimes. I don't know what was the data last year. I'm purely basing my analysis on macroeconomics. Anyway, guys, I think we're done for the day. Book 200 pips with one single trade. So I'm going to call it a day. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream and made enough money.
Thank you so much.
Thomas.
Thank you,
Thomas.
Thank you.
You're
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas.
Do you know how to trade?
Number one.
Okay, before I go, just to confirm, do you know how to trade the PMI and Joel's job openings?
Yes.
Are you sure? I know you know, James, but you know other people.
A little recap, please.
Ooh. Read the chart. If the that's ADP jobless. Oh, there is no PMI. Anyway, look at the services PMI. If the services PMI, where are you? Let's see tomorrow. So if the services PMI today is going to be higher than 54, sell gold. If it's lower or significantly lower than 54, buy gold. Then you look at the Joel's job openings, but you know, focus just on the PMI. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
Cheers, Thomas. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you are interested to join the Alpha community, then there are a few spots available on the Alpha FX website. I'm going to send the link into the YouTube chat, 50% discount if you want to learn how to trade financial news and understand macroeconomics. There's only a few places left, so use the discount, it's all yours. I hope you enjoyed the stream, made enough money. Thank you so much. This is the Alpha FX. Cuncimókus.